24-year-old Daniel Robinson has been missing for 3 months. Daniel was working as a geologist and was last seen leaving a job site in Buckeye, Arizona on June 23rd. He was reported missing that same day. Joining me now is Daniel's father, David Robinson. David, thank you for joining me during this difficult time for your family. Tell us about Daniel, first off, and the kind of person that he is.
Thank you for having me. Daniel, my son, he's since he was a child, he always been he's the youngest child, the boy, and of his twin sisters and his oldest son, and oldest brother. I'm sorry, and he's always been challenging them since he was young. As you know, Daniel was born without a hand. And he didn't let that stop him. He always been that person to want to challenge himself and go farther in everything he do, whether it's academics, whether it's things like teaching himself to play a trombone and the French horn, things like when he got to college, he decided to be a geologist. And when he said he wanted to achieve his goal in that area, he did that. He also is a person that brings people together. He have a lot of friends. Many times there's conflict. He's always in the middle to bridge that gap. And, like I say, he's a adventurous guy. He like to travel and do things. He's very high spirited and a very go-getter. Just like right now, also like bringing together. He's bringing people together now, even though he's not here at this time.
It's wonderful to hear your description of him and how it brings such a rounder understanding of Daniel to all of us. Authorities say that no foul play is suspected in Daniel's disappearance, but your family thinks otherwise. Explain to us why that is.
Well, that's because we don't have any answers. You're looking at the evidence that's been presented by my private investigator. The things that he found, like, for instance, the vehicle's been crashed multiple times, that my son, the first crash happened within 4 hours of him going missing. And also things like, like I said, the vehicle been driven about 7 or so miles after the first initial crash. The fact that the damage on the vehicle that he found didn't match the terrain. Also, that my son's clothing, everything that he had on his body was in a pile 3 feet away from the vehicle. Things like that have an indication that something's wrong. There's a lot more to things that point to that direction, but those are some of the things that definitely point to a bad direction.
It doesn't match up with the personality of your son, and there's also this confusing thing, which I'm just going to explain for our viewers, maybe who haven't been following this as much, that they found your son's vehicle, but they found no evidence, no trace of him whatsoever. So, David, have the police told you any of their theories about what has happened to your son?
Well, the only thing I have gotten, once the Buckeye police detective notified me that my son's vehicle was found, and he told me, of course, his clothes was on the ground, like I said, 3 feet from the vehicle. He told me that he didn't see any blood in the vehicle, but the vehicle was, on the side. One thing that he pointed out to me is that, his theory is that my son maybe had a severe head injury. That explains why he probably shredded all his clothing off. He also told me that he also believed that my son walked out in the desert undressed because he wanted to be away from his family and his friends, and he most likely wanted to go join the monastery and become a monk. That's the only theory that I got from anyone in the Buckeye Police Department.
Does that match up with anything that you know about your son?
No. Like I said, his personality is opposite of that. He loves his family. His family love him. We're a very close family. Sometimes, though, then he will tell me things he don't tell his siblings, but he tells everything. He tells his siblings some things he won't tell me, vice versa. His mother, he tell her things that he probably won't tell me, but ultimately he speaks to all of us. Rather, he's making a trip somewhere. Sometimes he go where he want to go. Hey, look, I'm going to Sedona, for instance, and he go out there and he say, hey, I'm going to Sedona. He'll tell his sister, or he'll tell me, he'll tell his mother, he'll tell someone so his personality is also really close with his family. He reaches out to his grandparents, things like that. So Daniel is far from a person that want to be away from his family.
And David, it's been 3 months since Daniel went missing. You and I discussed this beforehand, but it has to be hard for you to keep the faith at this point. Have you allowed your mind to go to the different possibilities, and what are you thinking right now is most likely the case?
Well, I came here to find my son. I was able to coordinate my own individual search. A little that the Buckeye Police Department wasn't doing it for me. Doing that search, I had to face a lot of things. The first week or so, I was very hopeful that I would find him out there. Hopefully he wasn't injured. Maybe he just trapped somewhere and we can find him. But as the weeks start passing by, reality can kick in. Hey, I've been out there in the desert. Sometimes it get 118 degrees. Then you start realizing, how hard it can be out there if you're out there trying to survive. You have wildlife out there. I've learned the mountain lions and things like that. And then once we start finding human remains and a skull, things like that, we start, things like that start getting to my mind and say, I had to come to a realization. It's been so many weeks now. It's been this point, and the outcome may and may not be that great at that point.
And you are continuing your search for answers. What would you like to ask others to do to try and support those efforts?
Well, I have a petition out right now. The petition for myself does a couple things. I think when people are united and we're asking for one thing and we all come together, like I said, my son bring us together, is to ask the Buckeye Police Department to do their job, first of all. My resources was very low at the time. Thank God that people start kicking in now and trying to help to keep me here, and I'm grateful of that. But resources are very limited, and the Buckeye Police Department has many resources, not only just the resources, they also have the equipment. They should have manpower. If they don't have it, they can go outside of that and get professionals. But, as a civilian, as a person, as a family member, and then as a father, I'm asking the community to, like I say, support me on that behalf, but also to help me spread my petition, because my petition also would help everybody be aware that this happens often. I have learned since I've been doing this for 3 months that missing person cases happens all the time. A lot of times as a people of color, we don't get heard a lot. It goes unheard. I get flooded with emails, people telling me their brother's still missing, their aunt, their uncles, things like that. And that's when I start understanding this thing is really bad. So I just wanted to make sure that people in the community may come together and say, look, we need to put more pressure on our departments. Maybe they need to come up with a separate department, especially states like Arizona, Alaska, New York, they have high missing persons cases or whatever, may have a better training or a different department that specializes just for that purpose, because the first 24 to 40 hours of urgency is the major thing, just like what happened in the Gabby's case, and things moving faster.
Yeah. I appreciate your focus not exclusively on your son, but in amplifying all of those cases that deserve more attention. David Robinson, yes. Thank you for being here. All of our best hopes for you and your family.
Thank you for having me.